much relative to somebody. Not sure whether other than salary and wages, if there's anything that affects it that I'm aware of.
Probate is actually one of those offices, one of those instances where the health insurance was actually too high, so we brought it down a little bit. And that still accommodates the 35%, which is,
Well, I think it's down too low, but when you factor that in, you'll probably be okay. Because we're,
What kind of contract services probate?
usually lawyers.
That'd be professional.
Yeah, that's under professional, you're right.
that's, well, I'm going to speak for Scott. but-
I think I left them in my.
Well, they've got their copier maintenance. They have Delage Landon, who is the copier lease. Milner is her copy charge. Sequoia Water for the, I think they still have water.
Yeah, there's a,
They still have a cooler.
yeah, there's a bottle machine up there in the back that I seen the other day.
That's like the lease on postage machine. Really, it's just those ones, but it's just those main vendors.
The one with the sheriff's, is that in?
That comes out of sheriff. That's not in your budget, that's in the sheriff's budget. Probate, the
No,
GBI.
I thought there was I thought we saw something in our budget that was, when they do that. It may not.
Oh, the supplies and materials. That comes out,
that, okay.
yes.
That's not a cost, that's
Right.
not.
But just, there was an increase in budget there, and I was just curious.
I think on that one, when Judge Mullins and I looked at that, she was concerned the other day that we are, I think that the number that we looked at, Sandy, you had given me a projection from or you had given me numbers from January to a certain point we were at right now, in September. Judge Mullins was concerned that she was, I'm not sure what percentage she was through that 5,600. She's concerned that she was going to go over that before December got here. So she said that I might bump that for the coming year, increase it a little bit. So we bumped that up a little bit, trying to cover that for the coming year. Now, I don't know what she's projecting because I've not been there. I don't know what she sees coming.
Yeah.
But it's, and it may be the copies. I don't know how I know my copy machine that I have at the office, they count the copies that I make. There's some kind of fee that you get per copy, whether it's color or black and white. And I cannot remember, you may have it, there, Sandy, where she's at as far as the money this far along in her 5,600.
Well, at the end of September, she was at 36.
She was concerned that she might be pushing that.
So nothing specific on the horizon that she saw, just concerned about going over
Yeah,
budget.
nothing that was going to change as far as a contract service added coming next year. It was just the copy count, I guess, that they have done this year that increased, is pushing that number. She was concerned with that.
Well, I think she might have been thinking too that you might need an additional resource or something, being new office. But I don't know.
You said 36 through 9 months?
If you annualize it, it's,
45.
yeah, about 48.
48, yeah.
That office is,
Which is right in line with the most recent 12 months.
right. That office seems to me to be one of the more volatile employee turnover and morale and difficulties in this salary and wages increase shown, is that going full-time or more people or higher wages or related to that? What
Well, from what I have seen since I've gotten more involved, with the staff and what's currently there has been, since July, there has been an increase in pay throughout the entire office. Every employee that's currently there now has received a pay increase, significantly pay increase. She currently has, not counting Judge Mullins, currently has five full-time employees. And
I've got those
you
figures.
have the figures, okay.
Yeah.
And I think that, I think they're all, at this point, they're all full-time. And based on the calculation of what they're being paid per hour, is a significant increase from what the budget was last year to accommodate that increase in the hourly rate.
And that, I'll interject, that 137 is based on their actual, the way their payroll is right now. That's with, no deletions, no additions, that just is what it is,
That's
basically.
one question. That's 208,000 total traffic over. And that's about what? No, it was only,
208,450.
yeah, it was only 174 total last year, or this year, even including, you're saying there were some increases.
There were some pretty
But that's
good
current,
increases.
those are already current. It's not-
Those base salary amounts and that base salary column
Right,
are those base rates are the actual current rates. And, some of those went up $4 or $5.
So you're just saying basically we're good on that portion, you think?
But based on the comments earlier, your general comments, I think what has been done is appropriate.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, from what, the information that I have gathered in general conversation and other probate offices in surrounding counties, they are more in line
Okay.
now than they have ever been, with their pay scale there. And I think that, I know it was a drastic step from 0 to 60, I guess, to get there. But I think it's more in line now. When you've got employees leaving to go across the street for that kind of pay raise within the same
Yeah.
employer, then you have other employees thinking, I'm not staying here. That's why I think you have a turnover in that situation. And when, my colleague in Pickens County, when he took office, he had a clerk that been there 30-some-odd years. The longest anybody's been upstairs is 2. So you have that kind of turnover without some kind of morale boost. And I'd like to be able to give them a reason to stay, of course. I'd love for them to be able to have a reason to stay. And I know money's not everything to stay for. I'd love to give them other reasons, incentive to stay. But I know sometimes pay is an important factor in that as well. So,
Do you see any bringing back any of the other services that went away?
I have a meeting scheduled in November at the Capitol with Speaker Ralston and the Director of File Records. We're going to sit down and have a conversation about that. There has been no guarantee that that will come back, but there has been at least an agreement to sit down and discuss it. The comment was made that it's not coming back in its current situation, but the door was left open. You know, it was said it would never come back, but just not in the current situation. So I'm willing to go talk to them and see if we can. If we can, you know, and if we can, but if I can't at all, I'll try to get that back. And see, I don't know if that's possible, but we definitely give that a try. Because I think if I can, based on other counties and how they do it, there's a way to use that for an incentive as well.
Yes.
For a quarterly bonus or whatever to kind of build that morale that way. Without it having to come to this.
Right.
I like your idea,
Okay.
your concept of a blended morale booster, though, not all financial.
Yeah,
I think that's critical, because
It
you
is.
can't move
Yeah, you
forward,
gotta
you don't
look
know
at
what you're gonna be able to do.
More of a holistic overall
You create a great working environment,
Right.
which I know you will do.
Yeah, and I know, and I've spoke with them, the staff that's up there now, briefly. I've not really got a chance to have a staff meeting and sit down with all of them and have a talk, but when I've been able to individually, I think they know that going forward, there's not going to be the possibility to do this every year. You know, you can't just keep, if you do that, you'll be making $400,000 a year. That's just not possible to do that. But what I'm gathering from them is, you know, of course, let's get to where we're making comparable. Let's make it fair, like, you know, everybody else around in different offices and counties, and then train us. You know, let us be comfortable with what we're doing. Give us the tools to learn our job. And then some of these quarterly bonuses are, you know, just small things along the way. Appreciate what we do, and I want to do that. Not saying that Judge Mullins has not done that, but I want to try to help him a little bit along the way. So I agree with that. That's, you know, when I work for somebody, I realize that you can't get a raise every time you turn around, but you know, when you feel good about what you're doing and somebody lets you know that you're doing a good job for them, it makes you feel good about what you're doing.
So you did mention training for the staff, but you're also going to have a good bit of training, so I wonder if that education and training line item is appropriate. Now, some of yours in December will be on this year's budget.
Well, we have, Judge Mullins and I have talked very little about her budget that she currently has now, and I don't know, with me going in November, to be honest with y'all, I've not discussed with her at all about how we're going to handle the training in November. Now, I have talked with Sandy about because I've got to go and stay in a room and pay for that. I have discussed that with Sandy, how that's going to take place. As far as paying for the class itself, that's not been discussed.
That's what this line item is for.
But that, you're speaking of this fiscal year as opposed to next year.
Right. Now, I know this line item will be training for 2017, but as far as paying for what I'm doing in November and December, I don't know.
This year.
Yeah, I don't know that that's supposed to come out of her budget.
Oh, yeah. It's that line item right there.
Her travel and expense and training will come out of her.
Okay, I didn't know if that was appropriate.
And you as
Right.
judge-elect are certainly entitled to the use of those funds
Right.
in that department. But when you made the comment about your employees saying, keep us trained, I'm I'm just curious if that's enough.
Well, we looked at the 1660 that she had in her budget for her training. Excuse me, yeah,
We did bump it
1660.
$800.
And we did bump it because I figured I'll have to have some additional training, and that, to be honest with you, that is a, because I don't know exactly what
It's a
additional I'm having to give to that. I had Tracy try to look up some different classes that I would have to go to, and I've also tried to mix in, I did ask her, I know this year that they went and did some classes that, so I think that Tracy and Jana and Deborah, all three went to some clerk classes. It cost the judge about $350, I think, to send them to classes. So I would like to do the same thing. I'd like to send them as well, which I think there was a $30 per diem for them, and then mileage to send them to Kennesaw, if I remember right. So I didn't want to come in here with a huge first year of, oh my Lord, what's he thinking?
Well,
I do know that I needed a little bump in some of these lines, but I am going to have some additional training and traveling expense and supplies and materials, because I didn't really know some of this. I guess I didn't think about it, but I'm looking at stamps, seals, letterheads, all that's got to change from Judge Mullins to my name now, so some of that's going to be additional. We didn't really change that 18 any, because we got to looking at where she's at in line now with this, and she's got room. So I kind of thought that I would be okay moving ahead. I may be selling myself short on that, I don't know, but because of the increase in the line item with the salary, I wanted to try to keep everything else as low as I could, because I knew that was going to be quite a big hit. So I may end up cutting myself short on some of this other stuff because of that line item, but I was trying to be conservative because of that. But those line items do concern me, the travel and expense, the training. We didn't bump at all the travel and expense, because I'm going to go basically, these trips that I'll go on for travel, I'll go by myself. You know, I have one room by myself. If the girls go and they have to, what I'm learning from them is the training they go to, they don't normally have to spend the night. They drive to Kennesaw, spend the
What's
day.
the mileage and the cost of the class?
Mine, it seems like it's going to be like Savannah or Athens, to where I'm going to be going.
A lot of stuff's in South Georgia.
So that's more of the travel and expense would be more so for me staying than it would be for them. So that's why we kind of left that the same amount that she had, and then the education training was bumped up because I am going to try to send them to some, and now that she's hired additional staff, I want to send the additional staff as well. So that's one reason we bumped that up.
Sandy, do you break down the revenue into different groups and categories?
Not for probate.
Now, like, you collect a lot of stuff that goes to the state too, don't you? The monies.
To be honest, Dallas, I don't know what goes to what entity just yet. I'm sure I do, because there's a lot of the gun permit money. I'm sure a lot of that goes to the state. These copies that we get for.
Who does all that?
The collections that probate makes, you know, during the month, they have an account. She has an account in her office. She has a probate account, checking account. And once a month, she pays out to the county for her general fund payout. She usually makes a payout to the SAP fund, which is the drug, is Judge Weaver's, you know, drug fund account. There's a payout to the Crime Victims Assistance account, and then there's usually a payout to the jail fund. She makes general fund, which will be the biggest payout, and then SAP fund, crime victims, and jail. We get those 4 payouts from her that she collects and it goes into her account, and then she distributes. And I'm sure she probably does have to distribute some to the state, you know, to other entities, but I'm not sure, you know, what those amounts are, or she does that in-house, in her office, she has an account. Same thing with the tax commissioner, you know, they do the same thing. Sheriff's Department does the same thing. Magistrate does the same thing. They have their own
So we
accounts that they
have no
collect.
control over that revenue. Or, okay.
Now, she did tell me the other day that when she leaves office, she has 3 accounts, 3 checking accounts, that she will be basically writing me a check for the balance of each of those accounts, for me to go open up
Your
a
own.
checking account. Which I wanted to do that anyway, I wanted to start my
Clean
own
break.
because I want there to be that division,
Understand.
the 2 of us. Me going forward and her, you know, ending her term. And I was unaware that there were 3 different accounts, but
I didn't have to sign my name on those accounts,
No,
okay.
those are strictly probate. None of y'all sign on those
Okay.
accounts.
Okay. Well, I don't know that I have any suggested changes, I think you answered a lot of the questions.
I suspect moving forward, you'll find contract services, you don't need quite that much, but I suspect you might need more education and training, but from our perspective, that's gonna net out, that's gonna be, you'll have discretion over individual, we're interested in the department. So.
yeah, Sandy was trying to tell me all that.
You can kind of ride between these as long as you're not bumping over where you ought to be total. And I think you're gonna probably find those 2 might be a swap, but
Moving that around.
from our perspective, we don't.
Yeah, she was telling me this bold number down here is the one.
That's kind of the one
Just the
That's
number
the one
you have
y'all
to
watch.
abide by.
Yeah.
And since it is a learning curve for me, and like you said a while ago, it's a guess,
Yeah.
because I don't know how much.
A year from now, when we're having this conversation, you'll be John's.
Yeah, it'll be a lot different next year where I can tell you, okay, I know exactly
Yeah.
how much I spent in my training and how much I'm gonna have to do this year. I'll be able to fine tune those numbers. Now, I do know based on the staff upstairs, there's things that Tracy sent me yesterday on there's some things in the office that they need. There's some shelves they need for books that they're just stacked on top of each other up there. I don't know the prices of those shelves. We need to look at some of that stuff. That would be in the supplies and materials, I'm sure, line item. And I may have enough there to do that, I don't know, and then again, I may have to wait till next year to buy, or 18 to buy shelves, I don't know. But,
It'll probably fall under capital anyway.
Depends on how much they cost. If it's over $5,000,
Oh,
it would fall under capital. If it's
Yeah,
under
some of that
5,000,
we
then
get
it's
done this year.
well, with her current budget, and I can talk to her if she has room in her budget to get some of this stuff before she leaves office.
Scott, again, what stuff is it you're talking about now?
In her room, she's got a room up there that's got minute books, misdemeanor dockets. It's almost like Glenn Sue's office where they've got these books they slide in these shelves. The shelves are full and they're just now stacking books on top of each other.
It's not rolling files like what we've got back here, is it?
It's not those,
But it's sort of a specialty item, it's not just a file cabinet.
no, it's shelves that's got rollers on it and the books just roll into those shelves.
You know those in the vault, that one in the vault that's got some on books in it? Have you ever noticed that one? I think it's similar to that.
They're like that, and she just took me a while ago, and they're stacked up on top of each other right now, and she was showing me kind of what they needed. One row of shelves would fit 16 books, which would clear one problem. And then you got some that's smaller that would need maybe a couple or 3 there to fix that problem. Just stuff like that. They got a computer up front in one of the windows that's an old XP, slow, needs some work on it. So it's just Nothing major.
If by work on it, you mean unplug it, and plug in something else?
Yeah,
Probably.
that's a fixture.
Probably so.
I thought we had done that 2 years ago.
I thought we had,
Yeah.
apparently,
They must have
they
kept one
didn't,
around here we didn't know about.
they didn't mention that one to us, they didn't complain about it, so, you know, it's the squeaky wheel thing.
Yeah, it's, you know, she's got 2 computers at the windows up there, and in the last year, I don't think there's been nobody sitting up there a whole lot, so that thing may have just been sitting there, nobody using it, so there's been no complaints. Well, now there is somebody sitting up there more, and it may be now more of a problem because this thing keeps booting off or kicking me off or crashing or whatever, but she did tell me that one of those computers up front is gonna have to be addressed, but.
Yeah, that's fixable.
And, you know, there's just some stuff that they have mentioned to me that going forward, we probably will have to address at some point. But, I told them, you know, this being the first year, my biggest concern, to be honest with y'all, for this particular year for me, was this salary and wages. I knew we had to address that. It was kind of the planning for me, so to get through with that, get that done. As long as it doesn't cripple the office in its performance and ability to function, we'll deal with it. If it completely shuts us down, then I'll have no choice but to do something. But until then, we'll work with what we got. I just wanted to address that. We had to.
One thing I should mention, and I probably mention it to everybody that comes through here just because it's a good opportunity. We have an opportunity to get some furniture. So if we need chairs, desks, whatever, like an inventory. The FBI company in Atlanta is closing, relocating to that building. And in the new building, they're getting all new furniture. So, their normal procedure is to trash it, all that furniture. But, of course, they've said that they, as an alternative to trash it, they can give it to a qualified county government. That's a pretty good setup.
Let's get all of it.
Well, there's 10 floors of it.
Oh.
Are you talking just furniture only, or like?
Well, specifically file cabinets, now, not
Not
PCs,
computers,
not
printers,
computers, printers, anything like that. They'll carry those with them, but file cabinets, chairs, that sort of thing.
Well, I can, I'll take some pictures of what I'm talking about that we need, and I'll let you have them.
I don't think those roller things you're talking about are anything that they use. I got a pretty good look at what they have available. They got some really nice stuff, but that seems more about especially that sort of.
We can let the road department store it for us.
Well, we hardly have to find somebody to store it for us.
That might be worth it.
We're gonna have to have a
Rent a little
station.
warehouse for a little while.
I told them that we're gonna want an awful lot of it, because the only thing it'll cost us is transport. But we're gonna have to have staging area. So I gotta come up with a big place. I'm thinking I may ask DOE about, open the school as a staging area, usually middle block. But yeah, they got a lot of chairs like these right here. They have desks, they have bookcases, file cabinets.
Well, I think that Tracy did mention, maybe a couple of regular 4 or 5 door filing cabinets, we might be in need of that. Judge Mullins mentioned to me the desk in her office is what she classified as a secretary's type desk. It's a L-shaped, and she is wanting to move it out to the floor, and she says that I may need to get a more of an executive type.
They have what they call manager's desks that are nice desks.
I do have some chairs up there that's got the arms ripped, so some chairs might be a
Now,
nice
this
addition.
is probably gonna be June, or maybe even July or August before we can get these. because we do have to wait for the building to be finished and move into it. But it's first come, first served. If we want it in July or August, we have to get your name on it.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I'd be interested in, because like I said, I know there's a couple of chairs that could probably be replaced, and I don't know, she may not move that desk. If she don't, I don't mind using the desk that's in there. I mean, it works.
well, if you can use it outside though, this would be an opportunity to get you over in the manager's type desk. Just give me a kind of a generic list of what you need, and I'm gonna try to put together and total everything up for them.
Through what channel did you run for this?
Actually, the lady that's in charge of disposing of all this, had moved to Ellerby. And she came in the tax department to get a tag for a car. She moved from Florida. And she came into Becky's office to get a tag for a car. And after she got over the shop with the $2,000 TAT fee, they got to talking about her with the LJ, and she's up here to move this building over and all that. And we got a lot of furniture to give away, so Becky kind of jumped on that.
So it didn't just like go out to all 159 counties, is what you're telling me?
It did not, but there are other counties that know about it. For instance, Lumpkin County is supposed to come up, they have to look at it. And so, and Becky and I went up there yesterday. We want it to be first in line. So, and we looked at what they had. She carried us down through. A lot of it was stuff like, we started on the 10th floor. And she showed us, took us into an office where they have a manager's desk and bookcases. And she said, okay, we have a bunch of these. Here's this one. I'm not going to show you all of them, but there it is, you know, and we've got a lot of them. They had some really nice conference tables, but I don't think any nicer than this one. But the chairs are they had sofas. We're going to try to get some sofas for the senior center. There's bookcases, file cabinets by the hundreds. And it's good stuff. They apparently have nice stuff. So basically,
Let's figure out how to get it.
well, she's going to send some pictures that we can show people. Becky and I seen it. She's going to send some pictures. And basically, we're going to give her final numbers, but we've told her, you know, yeah, I want some of these managers' desks, and some of these, and some of these. We'll give her final
Why
numbers.
couldn't they just load this up and take it to the new building? Is that?
She said,
They got to spend their budget, so they'll get.
Federal government
next
doesn't
year.
do that.
I don't know why, but
They don't do that.
they're adamant that nothing can go to the new building. It's going to be, the building's going to be finished,
They don't do
be furnished. Everything is just like one job out there, furnishing and everything. I'll tell you this, I saw what's going in the new building. They're living downgrade.
Really?
They got some nice stuff in this building and what's going in the other buildings. Similar to what we got here, which I don't think is that high quality of stuff in terms of most of the desks and stuff.
All right,
Good.
opportunity to knock him.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd say definitely get mine. And at the federal government, speaking of that, I did a job for the United States Forest Service. They called me and wanted me to bid on a job, kind of a blind bid, so I did the best I could on it. And it was a 5-acre survey. When did it? Told them I'd keep up my time and give them it was like a $2,500 bid. Went and did the job, kept my time, sent them an invoice for $1,300. A day later, I got a phone call from the guy. He says, "We got your invoice, what are you doing?" I said, "Done with the job, got the plat ready, you send me the check, and we'll send you the plat." He says, "You can't invoice me for $1,300.
Got to be 25.
I had to invoice him for $2,500. I said, "It didn't cost $2,500. He said, "That was your bid." I said, "But it didn't cost that."
There we go, then.
He said, "Well, I'm sorry, you bid 25, I got to pay 25. I said, "You have got to be kidding me." He said, "No, sir, that's the way it works." I said, "That's why we're in debt."
Welcome to our world.
It blew my mind. I thought, you know, Lord.
You argued a whole lot more than I would have.
Well, I mean, it floored me that he could. I just couldn't wrap my head around it, but Oh, one other thing I wanted to mention to y'all, I want y'all to think about something on the probate side of the budget. And I don't know that I'll ever try this or want to do it, but I know in other counties such as Pickens County's probate judge and magistrate court judge have, and you can do this, have implemented a procedure or whatever where they help each other and then basically appointed each other to be their associate judge. So the probate judge is appointed the magistrate judge to be his associate, the magistrate is appointing him to be his associate. So if one's out, the other just walks across the hall and does his job and vice versa. Based on the literature that I have read, to do that, it's basically an increase in the budget to do that. It has to be approved, of course, by the commission. And when I talked to Alan Wigington, which is the magistrate judge in Pickens County, basically all they did is instead of increasing or trying to pay out of the probate judge his budget, trying to pay the magistrate judge an additional compensation, they just increase the probate judge's budget and it goes to the probate judge, if that makes sense. Instead of swapping money, they just do it that way. Based on the way I read it, it's an increase of $11,600 to do that. But what it does is creates a way, if David Lindsay's on vacation or whatever, then Alan Wigington is there in the office to handle any probate judge issues that comes up. The only other way to handle that is if Judge Lindsay's out of town, is he's got to find somebody to come in and sit for him out of town or don't do anything in court. I didn't know you could do that because I was asking him if I'm sick, if I'm on vacation, if I'm in revival, what do I do as far as if there's an emergency court, something that comes up. And he gave me those options, either you try to find somebody that can come help you or you do what we did and we appointed each other as associates. So I asked Roger here a while back if he'd ever been asked to do that. He said no. And I said, would you consider it? He said, I wouldn't mind hearing about it. I don't know if I do it, but I wouldn't mind hearing about it. So it happened so late in the game that I'm not going to do it at this point. I'll probably just ask Judge Lindsay or somebody else to come and help me if I get in a bind. But somewhere in the next 3 years or 4, I might consider that. So if I do, that might be something that you might see going forward. I might try to add that in there. If it works, fine. If it don't, then we won't do it, of course. But that might be something I'm going to try to add in there. And I think it only works if you do it swapping each other. If I try to appoint an associate judge that's somebody outside of, like hiring somebody,
That'll be a cooperative.
You're probably looking at a
Contract service. Probably.
Right.
You're probably looking at a higher paid service. So anyway, just wanted to mention that. Something else I didn't know is I also got this elections budget that I didn't know I had either. And I don't, Charlie, we had really, I didn't talk, did I talk to you about the possibility of doing something different? I was shocked to find out that every county in Georgia did not do elections through the probate office. I thought all of them did that. That's not the case. Pickens County, as a matter of fact, does not. They have an elections board. Probate judge in Pickens County has nothing to do with elections whatsoever. And I'm not convinced that I want to do that. Gilmer County has always had the probate judge over elections. However, David Lindsay says he's glad he don't have anything to do with it because it is a lot of work, a lot of responsibility, and a lot of liability for the probate judge to be over elections. However, there is also a lot of conflict that be over the elections, especially if you are running for re-election. If you're running for re-election, you have to appoint basically a makeshift board to be over elections while you're campaigning for election, which gets very tricky. The only way that you can fix that, my understanding is it has to be done through state legislature with cooperation from y'all. Because basically what has to happen is there has to be a board of elections created, which is a separate entity, which is a separate budget for them outside of me. So, and I don't know what that would consist of, and I don't know how hard that would be, and I don't know how expensive that would be. And the last thing I want to do is create an issue for us as a county or an expense for us as a county that would be beyond what this is.
Well, the rosy side of that is your first year in office is not an election
Sure.
year.
That's right. And
So
that's why I'm
we
not panicking
We
about it
have
right
some
now.
time to evaluate options and so forth and so on. It's not a
Yeah.
critical thing right now.
True. The only thing that we might have in January would be a runoff if Isaacson's don't get it. There's 3 running there, so if somebody don't run off of that one, we could be facing a runoff in January for that one. And that's why in this particular budget, I have thrown in a number for that particular what if that happens.
If you do decide, or if we're all, I guess, collectively decide if that's the way to go, we'll want to get started on that and get a notification to David Ralston on that around probably June, July timeframe. Because that's when they actually start setting their calendar for the January session, or February, whatever it is.
I don't really have any idea what we're looking at as far as an expense to the county to have that kind of board set up as far as a budget.
We could probably check with Higgins County, just to get some budget information on an election board.
Because you're
Some other
looking at like,
counties that have the same.
she budgeted $180,000 for last year's, because we had 4 elections, or excuse me, this year, we had 4 elections this year, she budgeted $180,000 for that, or excuse me, $195,000 total.
Right.
And I don't know where we're at January to now, you know, or.
Well, that 180,000 is made up of basically 26,000 per election, plus, any supplies, paper, things that office supply type things.
You know where she is, well, you
I think we're-
probably wouldn't be a good number though until after this November election to see where she's at in the big picture, that 195, 400.
I think for some reason though, if I'm remembering correctly about last year, we budgeted for, I think we budgeted for 6 elections. Because I think there was a little bit of a question to start with about how the election calendar was going to work out between state, federal elections, those kind of things. And I think we went with the worst case scenario and budgeted for 6 elections, but we're only going to have time 4 in this year.
Well, we had an education in there as well.
Right. So, I
If
think
it, from what I'm gathering from those that work the elections more so than, or got more knowledge of these elections than what I do right now, that's been working for years. There's a lot of work involved that goes on. Actually, there was a poll workers meeting they had Saturday. The room was full. I had no idea that many people that work the elections. I told them, I said, when I go in my precinct, ain't near this many people there. But when you look at 13 precincts,
Right.
and then you got people here at the courthouse, I mean, that adds up to a lot of folks that you don't realize is working. But there's a lot of folks that's working, getting paid to do that. And so there's a lot that goes on, but, there's those that are working it closely say you don't need to panic. We know what we're doing, the machines they're doing their job. But at the end of the day, when you do the results, it's my signature at the bottom of the paper that says I'm certified that this is accurate, good, and I'm standing behind it. So that does make you a little bit nervous about some of that. Especially when you hear one of our candidates right now saying that it's rigged and when you got to the election meeting, so. But anyway, that's just something that I had thought about, and it's possible that I will mention that in this November meeting with Rawson. I may just say, you know, if we wanted to talk about that with you, how do we go about doing that, just to get a feel, just to see what he says. And I'll probably talk maybe some more with Pickens about how they did it. Is it working? I mean, David's never had anything to do with it. Rodney Gibson's the one that done it years ago. He called his representative. He said, I don't want to do it. You know, y'all need to form a board, get it out of my office. And so that's kind of how that went down there. So just something to chew on.
Does the Secretary of State have anything to do with that too? Do they?
Well, the Secretary of State is where we all turn in our
Yeah.
campaign contributions and.
I don't think that he would have anything to do with whether it's done through probate or board elections. From their perspective,
Election results.
they just want one of the two to send them
No matter where.
certified results and so forth.
Yeah, I don't think they mind who does it, they just want it done.
Well, as long as it's
Somebody
done.
certified.
Yeah, as long as it's done by an appropriate person, like, right now, I'm sure that they want it from y'all, because we haven't made any legal otherwise, but, assuming that the arrangements made on this end are legitimate, they don't care, they just want their information.
And you're right, Travis, because it's not an election year, that gives us, we don't have to do nothing crazy, we got time to discuss it. And if it don't work, then we'll continue to do it like it's been done for years without panicking. Just something I wanted to bring up to y'all. Do you have any questions on the elections? I know that the salary line there increased, but
That's
we're
because of,
splitting one there with,
yeah.
It's
with
Tammy?
Tammy.
yeah, that's Tammy, we're splitting her with the registrar.
Okay. I'm happy.
Just for the record, Scott's getting the biggest budget increase in his own, aren't you?
I don't know.
You think the surveyor's budget's zero?
Oh, well, yes, look at it.
I know.
It's infinite.
I had to throw that in because he constantly asks me for a budget increase. I said,
I
well,
emailed her, for the
Zero
last
out of zero is
8 years,
zero.
I have asked for just a 1% increase.
I have to remind him that 1% is zero.
She gives
is
you,
zero.
And I'm
gives you a
finally,
100% increase every year. You just
Finally.
haven't seen it.
finally, I might get some sort of increase. So I'm tickled that maybe something is going to happen with that anyway. So now what, of course, y'all know Miss Anita's mom, actually, that's why she's not here. She wanted me to go ahead and have this.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay.
That's why she's not here this morning, but she wanted me to go ahead and have this meeting with y'all today. Just so I know what's next, what do I do next, or,
Well, probably what will happen next will be that one of us will call you and tell you you're getting about half what you asked for.
that's kind of what I figured. That's why I really asked for double.
Gotta-
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Come on, Eva.
No, I'm just kidding.
Now, see, you don't play your cards like that.
I'm too old to tell y'all really. I told Stacy one time, I said, I'm going down and asking exactly what you're asking for, and he said, you're crazy. I gotta start somewhere, I mean, you wanna ask for too low, you'll get nothing.
Now, the next thing will be, once we've gone through all of these, then we'll have kind of an overall session
Okay.
to balance everything.
Okay.
And,
There may be a question or two arise,
Yeah.
but probably not. Just straightforward.
Well, if there is anything that you need more detail on, if you'll just let me know, I'll try to pull some numbers on some stuff. I was going to try to look into more of that training to see if I can get some hard numbers on what these classes will actually be. Because I don't actually know come January what they are that they're going to want me to go take.
Continuing education.
Right, and if I can find that out, then I can get y'all what those numbers are going to be. concrete to me, just trying to guess at what I'm going to have to pay, so. But anyhow,
Good.
We wish you well, Scott.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it.
I'm excited about it, and I hope and pray that I can do a good job at it.
You will.
You will.
No problem.
And I'm sure that these three can attest to the fact that there will probably be points where it'll say, what in the world was I thinking?
More than once.
Yeah.
I had a full head of hair. I had a full head of hair when I started.
Yeah, to be honest, there might have been already a time when I've
Just like
already
that.
said, what was I doing? What was I thinking already? You sure?
Yeah, I'll get it. I'll get it.
Thank you.
All right, thank y'all.
Appreciate it.
I appreciate it.
Thank you much.
Good to see y'all. Is there somebody waiting outside? You want me to-
I don't think we've got that one to do one.
Okay.
Yeah, we did magistrate.
Oh, yeah, magistrate, what time's he coming?
11:30.
I'll see y'all.
All right, thank
See
you.
if he's out there.
Um,
Unless you wanna have some discussion first before I go.
Just a minute or two.
Okay.
One of the things another one of those things I want to throw out up front for everybody, as we're going through this. Are y'all familiar with the new federal law, overtime for salary individuals?
No.
Very general
details,
speaking,
yeah.
Okay, well, any salaried person that makes less than $47,500 now has to be paid time and a half overtime for all overtime, effective December 1st.
Isn't this what the state has filed suit against?
There's a number of states that file suit,
I think Georgia is one of them.
but it is set to go into effect December 1st, and it'll probably be a while before there's any legal decision on these things. In any event, we kind of take a look and see how it's going to affect us. And we've got a couple, we got 2 or 3 primary folks that were just massive amounts of what would be overtime if they weren't salaried. That's Kevin, Mike Parks and Rec, Mike Roberts, and offhand, don't know.
Daniel? No?
No, there's some folks, there's 2 ways we address this. If they're kind of approaching 475, we bring them 475. The other thing to that too is depending on just how much overtime these folks work. If Kevin, for instance, will have to be there at 11 o'clock at night for ball game, whatever he just works through. If you've got somebody that just works massive amounts of overtime and they're up, over the 40s, in my instance, on the other hand, if somebody is at 36, 37, and they work some overtime, but not just massive amounts, we're not looking to bump them up to 475. What you can do in some of those situations, though, is you calculate about how much overtime these folks work on a weekly basis. And you kind of back this out where, okay, your salary now is this, which is a lower figure actually. And we anticipate that you'll work as much overtime every week, which will put you back up to where you are. It's kind of a roundabout back door, not very popular way of doing things, but that's a.
Well, maybe use that approach and split the difference between where they are.
Exactly.
I think that would be more palatable.
It would be very much more palatable, and basically that's what you're gonna find from some of these is built in, is that they're still going to end up with a bump, just not to 475.
But that's including the anticipated overtime.
Yes, yes. Hey, right, come on in.
Hey. Hey, good morning.
In any event, as we get to these folks, we'll have this discussion more. I just want y'all to be aware that that's something that's going to be built into some of these budgets.
So you think it's 2 or 3 or 4?
I tell you what, and I'll have a look, I had a list of, I think it was 5 people.
Okay.
Um, I think the kid, and I right offhand, because
Oh,
one of the
right.
ones that does.
Yes, sir.
Humongous overtime that we do. But there's others, and we'll get into it. DJ is one that,
There were 7 that you and I discussed.
yeah, but not, we weren't
Yeah,
discussing,
yeah,
we
yeah.
not to that level.
No, no,
Some of those would be the back of the.
incremental kind of.
Everybody gets a bonus. DJ is a good bonus. Not for a second time. I don't think you put there. But,
Does that apply to post commissioners?
that's not apply.
Hey, you're getting me.
That's an interesting question.
Yeah.
Really, yeah, I mean, seriously.
Not to elected
How-
officials.
Okay, is that the,
Yeah.
is that the caveat?
This is, yeah.
Is it-
But
I have
now,
another-
here's the
I
downside.
have another backroom.
Okay, that sounds right. Here's the downside. The people that we do backdoor, you know, you'll get a little ball.
Hybrid approach?
The hybrid approach are gonna have to start doing time sheets, to keep their time.
Oh, yeah.
They don't necessarily
Enforce that, yeah.
That's
And you
gonna
know,
be
Whitney
really
have to
popular.
do that.
Well, you know, most people really do, but most salaried people don't. And that's gonna be a popular thing, but that's just what you have to do for the hybrid approach. So,
It's coming downstream, we've got to do
it
it.
is, but I just wanted that to be, in the back of everybody's mind as we go through some of this. I'm sorry to keep you waiting.
Come on up,
Man,
Roger.
keep me waiting.
Come get a cup.